Blue Ink by Elizabeth Scarhart and Snowball the Snowflake. Illustrated by Snowball the Snowflake. Narrated by Elizabeth Scarhart. Chapter 8. The Tearful Truth. Sans groaned. His skull hurt. I think he's waking up. Was that Undine's voice? Sans opened his eyes. He was back in Undine's lab, resting on a medical bed. Undine and Papyrus sat beside him. He sat up, forehead in his palm. Just don't force yourself. Do you feel dizzy? Undine asked.
No, I'm alright. My skull just aches a bit.
Sans told her, smiling assuredly. You had us worried. Ink brought you back with your skull cracked. You've been out cold since last night, Papyrus told him.
Ink?
Suddenly it all flooded back to Sans.
Oh my god, that's right! Error attacked! Ink, is he alright?
He's fine. He's keeping guard outside, Papyrus told him. Now sit back and let Undine examine you. Undine asked Sans several questions, all the while checking his vitals and eye movement. Well, I don't see any signs of a concussion or permanent damage. There's of course a crack in your skull, but it's shallow. It should heal up. Let's see how you are on your feet. Sans got out of the bed and took some steps forward. Good. Nice and steady. Looks like you're just fine, Undine smiled. Sans nodded and exited the room. Ink was in a chair next to the door. He turned and smiled, seeing Sans.
You're okay! Thanks to you. What about you? Are you hurt?
Sans asked.
No, I'm fine. I'm sorry, I didn't think Error would track us that far.
Ink told him.
He's more relentless about you than I thought. It's not your fault. Besides, once everything's set up, you'll never have to worry about that again.
Sans smiled.
About that. Sans,
Ink didn't finish his sentence before Sans ran to get the device. Ink chuckled. Sans was energetic as ever. He was glad Error didn't harm him further. It wasn't long before they were on their way to the final linking point, where they would hook up the last device. To Ink, it felt like death row. He kept his mind off it by describing the battle to Sans. Thankfully, Sans never seemed to mind when he forgot details of a battle. Ink felt more forgetful than usual with his mind so full. Papyrus and Undine lingered back, watching the two. He didn't get a chance to tell Sans, did he? Papyrus asked. I don't think so, Undine replied sadly. Papyrus sighed. I never thought I'd say this about Sans giving his optimism, but this is going to break his heart. At long last, they reached the linking point. It was in Snowden Forest, so they had disguised it as a tree root sticking out of the ground. Sans set down the device and was about to switch it on.
Sans!
Ink put a hand on Sans' shoulder to make sure he listened to him.
Before you turn it on, there's something I need to tell you.
Sans looked at Ink, suddenly remembering how he'd been crying before Error had attacked. Ink looked like he'd break into tears again.
What's the matter?
He asked.
Sans, there's something you didn't consider when you decided to block out Error. Error and I live together, and we're two parts of the same person. Sans, when Error gets blocked, I need to be in the anti-void when it happens, and, well...
He began to tear up again.
I won't be able to visit either. I'm sorry, Sans, but this is goodbye.
Sans' eyes widened.
No, you can't! Undine, stop! I changed my mind! I don't want to do this anymore! Sans, we have to.
Ink said.
Error's determined to use you to bring down your universe. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't want you to get hurt.
Tears were streaming down Sans' face.
No! Ink, please, we'll think of something else. You said it yourself. Fab and I are the only ones who treat you as an equal. What will happen to you if you don't have us? I'll be okay.
Ink told him.
I always was okay before. What you did touched me, and I'll never forget it. It was sweet of you too. But I can't be selfish about this. And leaving me isn't selfish?
Sans cried.
Ink, I need you here. I love you!
Ink paused a bit, shocked. He hadn't expected Sans to say that. Then he smiled, tears finally trickling down his own cheeks.
I love you too. That's why I have to do this.
He pulled Sans into a hug. Sans gripped Ink tightly.
Thank you.
Ink told him.
Thank you for being such a good friend. I love you, Sans.
He pulled away and nodded to Papyrus, who picked up Sans. Sorry about this, bro.
No! Ink! No!
Sans screamed, reaching to Ink, struggling to get out of his brother's grasp. But his brother was holding him by the soul. He couldn't escape. Ink painted his escape, gave one last tearful glance at Sans, and then forced himself to walk in, closing the hole behind him. He was gone.
No!
Sans screamed louder before bursting into huge sobs. He wailed, unable to accept what had just happened. Papyrus held his brother closely. Sans gripped his hoodie, sobbing and wailing uncontrollably. Undyne reluctantly turned on the final device, sealing the deal. Error would no longer attack Sans, and Ink would never return. Okay, Mom and Sis are getting their pictures taken. Dad's out in the studio, and Honorary Sister's an artist. She's not going to care if I'm acting really weird while reading this. Time to make an utter fool of myself by being way too emotional! I really should have thought about this before agreeing to read a dramatic reading for a romance story. Oh well. Error's determined to bring down... emotional scene and I still mess up. No! That was horrible! Oh my god, that was horrible! Okay, let me try that again.